All right, so this is the March meeting of the Harrison Nicholas Scott Bourbon CECC. We're gonna go ahead and kick it off. I'm gonna call it to attention and get it started. I sent out the minutes from the last meeting in February. That's where we talked a lot with Keith Lyons from the Dolly Parton Library, and we had some other conversations as well. Can I get anybody to make a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Tara. And anybody want to second that?
I will
I'll
second.
second that.
All right. Nikki, your yellow box popped up, so I'll say you. All right, good deal. And then trying to stay compliant with the grant and the requests of the governor's office, we need to take attendance verbally. So I'll just say my name and then we'll just go around and say your name. That way it's recorded and verbally captured that you're present and attending. So Jonas Cooper.
Kara Custard. Nikki Mullins.
Andrea Heil.
Whitney Fowler,
Anita Earlywine.
Amy Adams.
Cheryl Roberts.
Debbie Link.
Oh, both of us same time. Bridget Jackson.
Good deal. All righty. Thank you, everybody. All right. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of everything. Thank you, everyone who's been sending me requests and stuff to get the money spent up that we have, including those additional funds. We've done really well. In the past couple of weeks, we've spent probably close to $12,000 getting stuff. I'm waiting for those official funds to come back so that I can purchase the things. So like I got Amy's cabinets in the works. I got some Bragances. I have some dial fours. I got some classroom materials for everybody. So that type of thing. So we are in the green light for that one. Hopefully I can get that back and get those shipped out pretty soon. When you're using these things, technically we're supposed to have some sort of intervention or training, but we can word these materials. So let me back up for a second. The Bragances and the dial fours, those are assessments and stuff. The cubbies, those are improving classrooms. So we don't really have to do anything, but so some people requested some toys or books and things like that. And those are fine. We can classify those as classroom enhancement. But I was talking with Andrea earlier about this. Maybe we need to start looking at doing some trainings if we're going to have some more materials and stuff like that. But I'm going to let her talk about that here in just a minute. Maybe throw something at you, Andrea, that we didn't talk about. For financially though, we're still doing pretty good. We got about $60,000 left to spend. And I was in talks with the governor's office and we got some more guidance on some stuff that I think is going to be really cool to talk about here in a few minutes. I'll put it under the new business thing. But does anybody have any questions about the funds that we have left, things that you need? Just a reminder, if you send stuff to me via email, make the subject line CECC spending. That way I can sort through it and keep it organized. But my goal is to spend out by June because our grant, it runs out at June. And obviously we'll have to do submit another application to continue the grant, but this grant cycle runs out in June. And so it'd be nice if we can spend the majority of that money by June. That way, June 1st, we're not scrambling, trying to buy stuff that we don't really need and not use the money to the best of its ability. So those are just some things to be thinking about. Does anybody have any comments or questions about the financial part of this?
It's probably, I'm sorry. Whitney.
Did we say last time, Jonas, that any of these funds could be used for the Dolly Parton Imagination Library?
Yes, we can. Mm-hmm.
See, we had the same question anyway, Whitney.
Good deal.
Yeah, so something that we talked about in with last month with Keith, and I followed up with him, and I think a few of the other of y'all have had subsequent meetings with him and Christie. But I don't know if we have enough money to completely fund the entire Dolly Parton library for, our counties. But what he was saying was, if in our respective counties, if we can find someone who is willing to be like the contract person, if you will, then our collaborative could say sponsor a month or two of the book, so we could pay for the expenses for June and July, and then people will get those books, and we could say these books are provided by Dolly Parton Library in conjunction with the HMBS CECC, that type of thing. But yes, this money is more than able to be spent toward that way. Absolutely. Well, speaking of Dolly Parton, does anybody, I know some of y'all have had meetings. Does anybody want to give us updates on y'all's individual meetings?
We're up and rolling in Harrison County. We had a community event back on the 24th of January. We just yesterday received a donation from a community partner for $3,500. We've received a donation from the Cynthiana Lions Club for $2,000 per year for the next 3 years. We've received funding from local physicians for $500 over the next 4 years. And then we've received just individual private donations, just initial donations.
That's fantastic. That's great.
And I think as of the launch date for here was Monday. And I think by Tuesday, we already had 100 and maybe 50 students signed up, or children signed up, not students. I call them all students, but we had 150 children signed up by Tuesday.
That's awesome. So we can definitely talk about and take a vote on, how we want to, partner with the Harrison branch of it. If we want to use some of our funds to sponsor a few months of that. Absolutely. How much is it per month right now, Whitney? Do you know?
How much is
So you're soliciting these donations from people? Are they just giving you an arbitrary amount, or are they like doing a full month or two, or a full time frame? Does that make sense?
Like the Lions Club gave $2,000 for each year, the first 3 years. So each year they'll come back and give us that money on a yearly basis over the next 3 years.
Oh, okay. I see. I got you.
City and county government have voted, and we're supposed to get a check from city government here in the next couple of days. And theirs was a substantial contribution as well.
Great. So the way that it works for us is whenever, if we can get an invoice from y'all, then I can use that invoice to, grant the funds from our money. That's the reason I was asking if those people were doing it like a specific time frame, or they're just giving donations. I'll have to double check and see if we can just give an amount, or if we have to have an invoice for the amount of books that we would be providing for that month or time frame or whatever it is. So I'll make a point to get that specific question answered. But I think that'd be great. I think we should use some of our money toward that. Amy, y'all had a meeting too, didn't you?
There, I was trying to unmute. Okay. Yes, I need to talk to you about that since you're my person. But Krista sent a spreadsheet. As far as the cost goes, it's based on a percentage of the population and registering so many per year up till you. Okay, so like for year one, she told me we would need to budget $1,452 a month to cover those expenses, and then for year two it would be $2,900 a month. Year 3, it would be $3,300 a month because we would increase enrollment. So I have that spreadsheet and what they told me as far as starting it in Scott County and how to get rolling. But if we, as a group want to figure out like how much to donate per county, everybody should have a spreadsheet, I would think. Do you, Whitney?
Yes, I do.
Based on your income and enrollment. So, but we were wondering if we wanted this a committee to be the 5013C for Scott County was our big question to get ourselves rolling here.
Yeah, I mean, we can spend a couple minutes to talk about that if we want to. I like the idea. Here, let me play devil's advocate, though, for us being the 501c3 for it. We've been, as you all know, we've been trying to rebuild this collaborative. It's been a little bit, leadership has been changing back and forth a little, in it. And we're still working on getting community engagement and our name out there. So I would be afraid if we took on that role of being the sole 501c3 for it, if something happened to this council, like I would hate for that ball to get dropped. Now, do I think we're capable of it? Yes. I just want to make sure that I play devil's advocate and give us all, both sides of the table. I'm curious to see what some of the others on this call think about that.
I just have a question. So I know I sit on a lot of different of these regional collaboratives, and they're all doing stuff obviously around Imagination Library. So the state is paying for half of that, correct, right now? That
Yes.
enrollment? Okay.
Mhm.
So you're talking about invoicing for that other portion that the different school districts are paying. Okay.
Yes.
And what
So-
we're paying for, Jonas, what the districts are paying for is the shipping for the books.
Who's paying for the shipping?
The school district, well, that's what
Oh, the
we're
school
paying.
district.
Because the books
I
are
got you.
coming,
Okay.
For free. I think the books, to sponsor a child, it was $25 a month for each year that they received it. The state's picking up half of that. So the other portion would be, what was left over, which was $12.50 approximately of that. So we had someone initially that I think for our first year, the local annual cost was around $2,500. So we had somebody that already gave us $2,000. So we just went on and sent that check to Dolly Parton Imagination Library. And so pretty much we're already finished for the first year in terms of the money that we have to spend out to them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They only said for our registration in year 1 was 225 kids. However, we had a population of enrollment for kindergarten this year at 249. So I mean, we've got more kindergartners than what they're saying that we've got birth to. That only means that there's only 10 other kids out there, so that are in that age range of 0 to kindergarten age. So we're anticipating that we're going to have, instead of what that cost is on there, that spreadsheet, it'll probably be more so, because I think we're going to have more kids, because I think they have it at a saturation rate of 65%.
On mine, they had trying to get 30% of your birth to 5 children registered year 1, and then 60, and then 70 as the word gets out.
Yeah, that's what I have. Mine goes from 30 to 60 to 70 to 80 to 100%.
Yeah. And we have 691 is our total first target number of students to register.
Yeah, so I'm gonna, well, I don't know if I'll get to it right away, but hopefully by next week, I'm gonna talk with the governor's office again and see, because Whitney, what you're saying for your county is you're gonna exceed the expectation in the quote that they've given you. And so
I feel like we are.
I mean,
You will.
you said you just opened up or what, Monday, and you already have that many kids, or was it 150 kids? Yeah, I mean, I feel like you're going to. So I need to figure out if we can give an arbitrary amount that's not linked to a specific expectation or quote. So if we could just give $5,000, that way we're covered, above and beyond. Or if we have to keep it strictly to what Dolly Parton Library quoted or expected or projected. So I need to figure that.
They talked about how to, how do you get it out that such and such published or sponsored this many books? And that to me, and I'm not on that end of it, that's where our public library has come into play, because they're doing all the signing up of the kids, but we've got money coming in, and it's hard to distinguish, saying, well, this book came, because if you've got, say you all gave 5,000, and then let's say, the mayor of Cynthiana gave 5,000. Well, if we do it one book a month or so many books a month, I mean, somebody's going to be on the end of that line where they're going to be recognized. So I think that how we've kind of looked at it is that, this donation is being brought to you from our organization, and we don't care how it's spent as long as it's spent on the community members that are our smallest ones, 0 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're really trying to push our social media campaign. So anybody that brings a $5 check or a $5,000 check, they get their name, if they want it, with their organization, with Dolly, and it goes out to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter on all the social media platforms from the school district level.
Whitney has pictures of Dolly all over her Facebook.
Yes, I've seen lots of Dolly on Whitney's Facebook this week.
Yeah.
Dolly and I have bonded in the last month, and I took her somewhere, I don't know, the other day, but where her ring is connected, you have to twist and turn her. And so like when I was taking her down there, I twisted her, and like her head fell to her feet, and they're like, oh my God, she's still Dolly. I didn't know Dolly was alive and well.
That's funny. Yeah. Okay. So I think what I'll do then, I definitely need to figure out that answer that I was talking about. And then, Whitney, I think you make a good point. Even if it's just people know that we helped, that the collaborative contributed, I feel like that's good publicity, because I see what you're saying. It's definitely difficult to distinguish whose money is going toward what. So I feel like that's a pretty good solution that y'all have going on there. Speaking of social media, though, so let me jump forward a little bit. I'm going to jump down the agenda some because I'm excited about this part. So we've been approved that we can use these funds to buy like different promotional publications type community outreach things. So we could get like blankets or thermoses or pins or something. We could put our logo on it. We could put our name on it. We can, do all these different type of outreach, publicity type things. So when we are at these community events in our respective counties, then we can pass these out. Or if we want to try to come together and do our own event or participate in various events in the counties, but come together as a collaborative and go to those things, that's something that we can begin to consider a little bit more. I know that there's starting to be a more and more push for community outreach. And I don't think that's a bad idea as we're trying to grow our collaborative and get our name out there more. I feel like that might be something to consider. So what are y'all's thoughts on getting like thermoses or blankets or jackets or shirts or something and have logos and our name on it? Do you think that's something that would be useful? Do you see a place where we can hand these out to families that might need some resources, those types of things. What are y'all's thoughts? I guess let me back it up then. Nod your head yes if you think this would be a good idea. Okay, I'm seeing yeses. Okay. All right then. So as we begin to look more into community outreach stuff, I know that, so Amy knows what I'm about to say so community action, we have our review coming up in a couple of weeks. And that's been my entire life for the past 3 months, just about. I know it's been Amy's life as well. So I have not had the time of the day to dedicate to trying to organize or facilitate a list of community events. I know that at one point somebody had emailed me some stuff with it. And that's great. You might have to resend it to me. But I think that might be something that we need to look into as well. Kind of doing some more community type events and reaching out and participating in stuff that's already going on. Because we have this money that we can give to parents and we can buy stuff for parents to give them. There's other collaboratives that so they were working with Hands and they bought car seats and stuff. And they went to this event that Hands was putting on and they gave car seats out to families. So there's things like that we can do. It doesn't have to strictly be educational or social emotional. I know those or professional development. I know those are the 3 big things that we have represented on this particular collaborative. So all that to say is, I almost wonder if we need to develop, if someone is willing to take lead on maybe being our community person. We don't even have a social media that's really up and running for our individual collaborative. We might for our individual ones before they got merged. But for this current one, I don't even think there's anything really that's being maintained or upkept. So I'm not looking for an answer today, but maybe be thinking about it. And if that's something you're interested in, kind of being our community point person, and then you could, kind of help coordinate and facilitate the rest of us on what you need, on what we need to get our names out there and be more of a service to families. Does anybody have any immediate reactions to like, ooh,
I'm gonna say that I will contact New Vista because they have several family events throughout the year. One's a baby shower for birth. One's at several 0 to 3 first steps events. I'll contact New Vista themselves about, because I'm getting reviewed too, Jonah.
I know.
About their events that are coming up. So we don't, because it's getting that time of the year. I'll do that right this minute. And then I'll be thinking.
All right, thank you, Amy. What are some items that y'all feel we should get to put our names on and to hand out at these places? What are some things that y'all are thinking that you really feel like that I should be looking at getting us?
Water bottles have been a big hit for us. Water bottles with Paris on them or whatever, we give them out at events, and they're cheap to buy in bulk. I mean, blankets would be cool, but that could be expensive to get personalized blankets. I don't really know, but I know water bottles have been a hit for us.
Yeah.
We had some little pins at first steps with the hairs frizzy at the top, and it had first steps, and you could spin the little person and their hair went everywhere. The kids really liked those.
Okay. Oh yeah,
And I think
Denise got one. Yeah.
Yes, like that.
Even with the water bottles, if you had the smaller cups, because I know when I open my one cabinet that's all Tupperware, I mean, there's a cup with everybody's name on it from someplace that we've been.
Right.
And maybe even like could you do like maybe a refrigerator magnet that had the contact point person's like name, phone number, and email address for each county? And then when those are passed out, they would know who on that council is representative of their county so that they could have that information.
Yeah, that's a really good, I like that idea. That's good. I mean, and honestly, we have $60,000, so we can't spend all of our money on this, but we have the money where we can we can get some nice stuff and get a lot of it too. That way we can get some to everybody, and everyone can have some to if you meet a family or if you're doing something on your own time, you know, and you want to take that stuff. So, what I might do is create kind of like a Microsoft form or something and send it out to everybody, and you can put your ideas and, you know, as you come up with them, you can put those in and we can all look at it and review it, and things like that. I might do that. That way we're not having to come up with stuff on the spot right here, right now.
All
But
the
those are
Dolly Parton publicity stuff is free, isn't it?
I believe so. Are you talking about like people saying that we donated this amount or we'd sponsored?
Just like the Dolly and pamphlets and things all the counties are gonna be
Oh.
needing.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I think that's what I've heard. Yeah.
We might want to
You
make
can
sure
do-
all the counties have what they need to get all of their social media and community event giveaway things for the Dolly Parton thing. Make sure we're all covered with that.
I know like the brochures, the information packet, the registration forms, all of those are free and they're on the
Free.
Dolly website.
That's
Yeah,
what I
the
thought.
thing-
I would.
Like the stand-up dolly, that was not free. The tablecloth that the public library brought, that was not free. The window clings that we give to supporters for their donation, those were not for free. We
Wait,
had to pay for
so
all.
that might be something, Jonas, to make sure all the counties have all the Dolly things that we need to do as awesome a job as Harrison County is with all of their giveaways and publicity and stuff.
Definitely. I'll make sure that we all have some Dolly dollars. Make sure to get some stuff from her. Okay. These are some good ideas, y'all. Okay. I want to be respectful, so I'm gonna move on. Like I said, I'll create something where we can all be onto it. Andrea's asking how you get a stand-up dolly. Whitney, did y'all have a way that y'all did that? Did y'all just go through the website?
We went through the website. That was the hardest part because we'd already had the $2,000, but we sent that on into Dolly. So we started from scratch. We didn't have any extra money. So we had someone that gave us $500. So with that initial $500, we spent, I think it was $149.50 on Dolly. We bought a box of books, I think, and they were maybe $48. That was the very first book that you get, because we use those for this week, so that they would go on and get initial book in their hand. The window clings, I think they were about $1 a piece on that website. And then whatever we had left over, our culinary class, when we had that community event, the culinary class from the high school did muffins and juice and coffee. And there's a resource. I can see if I can conjure that up, because if you do any sort of PowerPoints, it all has to be Dolly approved graphics, Dolly approved colors, Dolly approved images. It comes off this one basic website, but I can send that to you once I get back to my office, and I can try to find that again, send it to you.
So when they sign up a kid, Jonas, they give them the actual first book and they get their picture taken with Dolly and all. It's really cool you need to be Whitney's friend on Facebook.
Well,
So, Whitney, you said the Harrison County Library is like the sign up point for Indiana, is that what you said? Like you go there,
Yes,
the families go there to sign up?
they did that this week. As soon as what they called flip the switch, we were active on the Dolly site, so you could go and sign up there live on their website. They did not process those immediately because they were doing the ones that were coming in to get the books. And so now they've started processing those. But we've taken, like, the library went to all the daycare centers. I went to the OBGYN birthing center at the hospital and several of the doctor's offices up there and passed out the pamphlets. They can either bring them back, fill them out right there, and the doctors will call us and we'll come and get them, or they can take them home and then you mail them back into the library. or you can drop them off at the library. But they're the ones that are doing all the registration, the books. They know who's coming and going through that system.
Good deal. All right. So, and then I think it was Bridget. Yeah, Bridget, you put some more ideas in there. So thank you. I wrote those down. Well, I really think that we have so much conversation during these meetings, but we're all so busy in our own respective jobs. I'm really going to look at trying to find a way that maybe we can just have maybe like a Teams or something where we can talk, in between meetings and stuff and share ideas and resources and stuff like that, because email is fine, but sometimes emails get lost. If Google document might work. So I'm gonna look into that just so that way, because I feel like I'm limiting conversation to be respectful of everybody's time. But I'm gonna see if I can figure something out. Maybe we can have that up and running in the next few weeks or so. So keep an eye out for that. So in that spirit, I'm gonna move on. A couple of things that I want to bring to your attention. So conscious discipline, we had talked a lot. That was probably the second biggest thing that we had talked about, other than Dolly Parton. And I want you to know that I bought. I'm trying to remember how many I got. I'm buying at least 100 online licensing registration accounts, and I can send those out to everybody who needs them for your staff or for yourself. And it gives you unlimited, well, not unlimited, but it gives you access to conscious discipline materials and trainings, online trainings and stuff like that for an entire year. And then I also bought a bunch of conscious discipline textbooks. Those are to supplement the e-course trainings. And so I can send those out too if you want them. So I'm buying all that stuff and we can get that sent out. I can get some more Brigantes and Dow 4s. I see Scott's on the call right now. Scott, did you want to take the time and kind of introduce yourself and let people know how you can help with that stuff? Well, he may be having some difficulties. Scott Turner, he's a great resource. He has volunteered himself to, if anybody needs help with training on the Brigantes or the Dow 4s or, those other types of screenings. He says that he's really into being able to help and do that sort of stuff. Speaking of training, we have lots of professional development people on our call. I wanted to open up the floor to y'all to kind of give, any updates for people. Something to keep in mind for those of you who are directors on this call, we can pay for some of these trainings through these people's organizations. They're offering a lot of stuff that's free, but sometimes, people got to make a living. So if there's stuff that y'all want that they can offer, we can talk about maybe helping out with that cost of that. Additionally, we can use, for those of you who are daycare directors as well, STARS and licensing and those types of fees, we can use funds to help pay for those as well. So just something to keep in mind. So anyway, for those of you who are trainers, we got about 3 or 4 of y'all on here. Do y'all have any updates or y'all want to share anything with everybody?
Hey, Jonas, this is Debbie Link. I'll go first. So we have kind of joined forces together with EC Learn. So as far as CPR and first aid, we can still offer those. You'll go through them and then we'll come out and help. So our service areas kind of overlap a little bit or kind of big. So we are collaborating together. So I think really if you need anything, one of our agencies would be sure, glad to help you. And if one of us doesn't have a training on a specific topic, then the other probably does. So, we will work together to make sure that you all are getting the services you need. So I think that's about all I have. Obviously we do anything from training, both agencies. So, anything training related, we'd be glad to help. So that's my update, but I'll let Andrea or EC Learn, I'll let them take over from there.
Thank you, Debbie.
I have not been to this. I know Bridget, I think you went to one of them, but I'm Andrea Heil. I'm the professional development coordinator at EC Learn, and worked hand in hand with Bridget. We both work with PD. And I guess because I haven't been in this group for a while, I went years ago when it was Bourbon by themselves, maybe Scott by themselves, but I know you're all joining and trying to like rejuvenate this excitement and enthusiasm for early childhood. I guess some of the things that, because we sit on other CECCs, I think maybe just kind of talking about what we do and some other ones that might help this group. One of the things we're doing is Connect the Dots, which is social emotional training, and we're doing it for both teachers and families together, which is a whole new avenue for us. And then giving materials to both those sets of people. So that's something we could offer. Other thing, I know Jonas reached out about like training based on materials. So you could give free materials. What kind of trainings might go with that? I was thinking something like open-ended materials and then giving away materials that go with that kind of, with those materials. I mean, EC Learn is willing and ready to help with those kind of trainings. Obviously we can do some in kind, we do that. But if we have money also, we can do some for fee if it's, you know, big groups of people. And we don't just necessarily, I mean, generally we have training on our calendar for childcare providers. I don't see a lot of those here. You know, how do we get them here? How do we re-engage them to get them here? I know in our Owen grant CECC, we actually created gift baskets with all the information about the CEC and actually someone went out and delivered them to the programs to kind of re-engage them and get them back at the meetings. I know it's hard because they're during the day and I know they're all busy, especially right now when the world is a little bit crazy. But just offering our services that we can help in any way that you need help to help kind of engage childcare, and then any kind of training for childcare, early childhood, anything, or families as well as the CPR. So I'll let Bridget talk towards that.
Thanks, Andrea. So if anybody, we do have scheduled sites. I'm coordinating with lots of different areas to try to reach different spots so we can have a public training. But if you know of any center directors or locations or whatever that could help us get classes out there, you can contact me. Also, you know, if you're a director of a center and you want to host those there, you know, contact me and we can set something up. Again, like Debbie Link said, we're working together trying to fill, you know, all those things there to get you all the training and all the providers the training that they need. So it is, again, the CPR, first aid, EpiPen, and bloodborne pathogens. So that's pretty much what we got there. And I'm behind the scenes coordinating all of that for EC Learn. So if you need or know someone that needs it, you can always contact us or me directly and I can work with them as well.
So there's some things in the chat. Let's see, Cheryl was saying that she'd be willing to host at her center. Jessica's talking about gift baskets and how that's a really good thing as she goes around and talks about CECC. Talking about some informational stuff. So yeah, I think we could definitely, and Bridget and Andrea and Debbie, I might get with y'all later on about maybe we can do some training for our collaborative on how to engage and maybe, you know, just whatever, as you're going around to different CCCs, you know, how maybe offering us some guidance and training on that. I think a good time for that might be, just so everybody's aware, our next quarterly meeting. And remember, we voted to meet quarterly in person. We didn't do that in February because of COVID and the snowstorm, and Danita worked hard to get the library reserved, and I made her cancel it twice or 3 times. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this on everybody's calendar. Is May 6th is our next quarterly meeting. And that would be where we voted that we would be in person. If you can be there in person, obviously we'll keep it, you know, of line open on Zoom as well, if you can join that way. But that might be something where we can maybe dedicate a little bit more time and have some professional development among ourselves and kind of network and collaborate with each other as well. So thank y'all, everybody, for sharing. And the chat's blowing up. So I don't know if y'all can read it or not, but okay, good. So everybody's saying positive things. So that's good. Okay. One more thing. The Institute. I had a lot of interest in the Child CECC Institute that was happening in March. That booked up like insanely fast, like within a couple of days, it was completely full. They're hosting another one in June. And we can use funds to pay for that, including hotel and travel and stuff like that as well. So that's just something to keep in mind for you or your staff. If you want to send you or your staff to this institute in June, that's something that we can talk about. So just keep your eye on that. And we'll talk about that more later. Our next meeting is April 1st, so April Fool's Day. We'll have lots of pranks, but not on this call. We'll actually meet. So that's our next one. And before we, start to wrap things up, does anybody have anything that they want to discuss with everybody as a whole? I want to make sure I open up the floor and give everybody a chance to speak their minds and their hearts if they want to.
I'll just kind of mention what I had written in the chat too. I love the idea of the gift baskets and kind of just putting some information in there. I have just recently started getting back out into programs. All Stars is starting back up. So lots more, face-to-face engagement with programs. So I would be more than happy to help deliver those. Kind of talk the CECC up if, anybody else wanted to help decide what went in those gift baskets or little baggies or something. Someone mentioned a CECC brochure. I think that would be great to have all the information, kind of in one place and what we stand for, what it offers. I think if childcare centers knew all that information, they would definitely participate in things, because getting free things is always a good thing. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to put that out there again.
Yeah, thank you, Jessica. Free, yeah, Andrea said the word free training that gets people's attention. Absolutely. And Whitney, they haven't set a date in June yet. They just said that it's in June as far as the Institute.
Jonas, I think it's actually the 21st and 22nd of June.
Did they? Okay. I was looking the other day and I couldn't find a date, but I'm glad that you. So you
I'm
said
sorry,
20,
the 20th. Oh, let's see. I think it's the 20. It's right in that week. It's either the 20th and 21st or the 21st and 22nd.
Gotcha. Okay. Perfect.
I just
Well,
found
now
that
that we know the dates, we can start planning. So if y'all want to send people, the last one, I was the only one that went to it. And that was kind of just because it was different circumstances. It gets lonely there. So I'd be happy to go with some people from here and maybe we can network amongst other people.
My teachers and I go every summer. So, they the one that you were at that they didn't realize who you were and you didn't realize who they were confused and lonely as well because it was really more for childcare and not preschool so much. But anyway, we always go every summer, so we'll definitely be going. So we'll find you, so you won't have to.
Perfect. Yeah, that's right. I remember you telling me that now, Amanda. Yeah. We know each other now, so it'll be much easier to find people.
Ask Jennifer if I could have off and I'll go.
Yeah.
You ask her.
I can ask for you, Amy. Andrea was saying that she's been working on that task group for it, and there's lots of exciting things happening, like the updated early learning standards. So yeah, that is exciting. That's going to be released then. So institutes are fun. So make sure that you be thinking if you want to go and send some people there as well. All right. So we've covered a lot of information. Again, I'm going to work on maybe trying to get something where we can talk together in between meetings to kind of keep the conversation flowing. I'm going to work on seeing if I can get some of these materials together. I will update y'all as I get funds to pay for as I get the invoices for the things that you've requested and let you know when they're heading your way. I'll find out about Dolly Parton questions, that type of thing. Of course, if y'all ever need anything from me, you got my email. Feel free to shoot me an email or give me a call. My contact's on the email as well. I'll follow up this meeting with, a recap of everything like I usually do. So without further ado, does anyone want to make a motion to wrap it up for today?
I will, Debbie Link.
Thank you, Debbie. I was about to say, if y'all want to stay on, we can, but I know we all got stuff to do. Anybody want to second Debbie's motion to adjourn?
I will.
Thank you, Andrea. All right. And then Cheryl, also, I'm sorry that I called you Cheryl. I'll make sure to call you Ray from now on. Other than that, all right, I appreciate everyone sharing your time here.
You're fine. I'm
and-
used to it.
Good. Good. I appreciate everyone hopping on and sharing your time with us to further the mission. And we'll be in touch soon. Okay. Thank you, everybody.